Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to explain a problem on deflection. A pre-stressed concrete beam of rectangular section 150 mm wide and 400 mm deep is stressed by 4 cables, each carrying an effective force of 250 kN. The span of the beam is 12 meter. The first cable is parabolic with an eccentricity of 50 mm below its centroidal axis at mid-span and 50 mm above the centroidal axis at supports. The second cable is also parabolic with zero eccentricity at supports and an eccentricity of 50 mm at mid-span. The third and fourth cables are straight with constant eccentricity of 50 mm below the centroidal axis. If the beam supports a UDL of 10 kN per meter and Young's modulus of concrete EC has 40 Newton per mm square, estimate the instantaneous deflection at the following stages. The first one is pre-stress plus self-weight of beam. Second one, pre-stress plus self-weight plus live load. If the loss ratio is 0.8 and the creep coefficient is 1.6, estimate the long-term deflection. So this is the given question. So let me explain what the question is. First of all, it's a rectangular section 150 mm wide and 400 mm deep. For 400 mm deep, the neutral axis will be exactly half of it, that is 400 by 2 is 200. At 200 meter distance, neutral axis will be there. This beam is having 4 cables and those cables are carrying effective force of 250 kilonewton and the complete length of the beam is 12 meter. They are talking about the each cable separately and each cable is having different eccentricity. The first cable is parabolic with an eccentricity of 50 mm below its centroidal axis. Centroidal axis is nothing but neutral axis and it is present at midspan. That means exactly at the center of the parabola, that is below the neutral axis at the midspan, eccentricity is 50 mm and also 50 mm above the centroidal axis at the support, means at the supports at the either end of the supports above the neutral axis, the eccentricity is 50 mm. For first cable, it's a parabolic, eccentricity at midspan is 50, eccentricity at support is 50 mm. Then it is second one. The second cable is also parabolic with zero eccentricity at supports. That is, at supports there is no eccentricity at all, but at the center there is a eccentricity of 50 mm. And now it is about third and fourth cable. Those two cables are straight cable having a constant eccentricity of 50 mm, constant below the centroidal axis. That means from if you are starting from the left end to the right end, the eccentricity is concentric. It is 50 mm below the neutral axis and it is also carrying a live load of 10 kilonewton per meter. Young's modulus data they have given and a few other data they have given. Till now whatever I have explained, I have just drawn and I have shown here. You can observe here the red line indicates it's a first cable. The first cable should be like this, 50 mm at the support and at the center 50 mm. Again, for the second cable, eccentricity is 0. Don't do any mistake. At the supports, eccentricity is 0. Just to make you understand, I have just extended this cable and I have shown this cable number as 2. Okay, but this cable is going to end at this point. At the supports, eccentricity is 0, but at the center it is 50 mm. Now it is for third and fourth cable, both are in same line, same position. It is having a constant eccentricity of 50 mm. See here, whatever I said, from here to here it is 50. Okay, for third and fourth cable, eccentricity is same. Like this we should write a diagram, and this is a cross section of 150 mm by 400 mm cross section. So let's start with the calculations. For a solution, I have started with I as well as dead load of the beam. Why do we require this I and dead load of the beam? I will tell you. See, first of all, it may be a short term or it may be a long term. First, I will start with the short term deflection. Short term deflection occurs due to dead load, live load as well as pre-stress. Deflection due to pre-stress. And this long term deflection occurs due to deflection of dead load, deflection due to live load, deflection due to pre-stress as well as creep. So for both the long term as well as short term deflection, we required deflection due to, or we need to calculate deflection due to dead load and deflection due to live load and deflection due to pre-stress. So I'm starting with deflection due to dead load. In deflection due to dead load, you can see the notation here. It is delta DL equal to 5 by 384 into WL power 4 by EC into IX is a formula I have taken. How did I take this? Is first of all, whatever problem they have given, it is nothing but it is a simply supported beam carrying a UDL. You can go and check there. It's a simply supported beam carrying a UDL, has a dead load, has a self weight. Okay. So we need to calculate how much is the self load of the beam. So I have calculated, dead load of the beam. I have calculated it. For that we required this W, as well as how much is moment of inertia. We don't know for the rectangle section, so we need to calculate it. Here keep one thing in mind, depending on the problem these formulas will also change. Here it's a simply supported beam carrying a UDL. For that, deflection formula is this one. Now let's get back to this. I equal to BD cube by 12. You know that it's for a rectangular cross section. Width is 150, depth is 400 cube by 12. So moment of inertia is 800 into 10 power 6 mm per 4. And dead load of the beam is cross section into density. Cross section I have converted from mm to meter, so it is 0.15 into 0.4, and density is 25 kilonewton per meter cube. We will get 1.5 kilonewton per meter as a dead load of the beam. Now substitute this is nothing but W, or load due to dead load. So substitute that value here. So it will be 5 into 1.5. Here sometimes you may get confused. If you here we should substitute in terms of Newton per mm. If you are converting from kilonewton to Newton, it will be 1.5 into 10 power 3 divided by, if you are converting meter to mm, it will be divided by 10 power 3. So the answer will be this 10 power 3 get cancels. So the remaining value will be 5 into 1.5 into length is 12 meter, convert into mm, so it will be 12,000 power 4 by 384 into EC value into IX value. We will get deflection due to dead load has 12.65 mm. Next is deflection due to live load. Again, I have taken a same formula. Why? Because you can observe the question. They have given if the beam supports a UDL of 10 kilonewton per meter, that is nothing but it's a live load, and it is by looking at the unit, that is kilonewton per meter, we can make out that it is UDL. So it is nothing but, it is understood that it is nothing but simply supported beam carrying a UDL for that live load. In terms of live load, deflection formula is this one. But here you should be careful, W value is different here. Here W was dead load, here W is live load. Live load value is 10 kilonewton per meter. Substitute that, convert that 10 kilonewton per meter to 10 Newton per mm. After substituting all the values, we will get deflection due to live load has 84.37 mm. The next one is deflection due to pre-stress. As I told, the third case is deflection due to pre-stress. But here we have a 4 different kinds of a cable. So what we should do is, we should take each cable separately, then we should find out deflection due to pre-stress, or we should calculate the bending moment variations. So let's start with the first cable. The first cable is parabolic cable, which is having an eccentricity of 50 mm at the center and 50 mm at the support. Here I have written the two bending moment diagram. Why I have written two bending moment diagram is, the first one is rectangle. It is for this portion. Whatever the cable is present from above the neutral axis, only for that portion is considered as a straight cable, and for that it's a rectangular variation. And the sign for bending moment is positive. Always remember, bending moment will be positive when cable is present above the neutral axis. This portion is present above the neutral axis, so I have written positive bending moment. But while taking or considering the rectangle, consider a half of it. The complete length is 12 meter. Half of it will be 6 meter. Convert it into 6,000. Convert it into mm. It will be 6,000 mm. Complete length is represented by L. Half of that will be L by 2. So L by 2 equal to 6,000 mm. Next is the depth of the rectangle. It is P into E1. Here I am considering this 50 mm as E1 and this 50 mm as E2. For this PE1, how much is the value we should find out? It is 12.5 into 10 power 6 Newton mm is a value. Next is next bending moment variation is for this parabolic profile. It starts below the neutral axis. Only for that portion I have written a bending moment diagram. If the cable is parabolic, obviously bending moment variation will be parabolic, and you can observe the notation here. It will be a negative bending moment. As the cable is present below the neutral axis, it should be denoted by negative. You can write a statement like this, or directly you can write the signs inside the diagrams. For that, PE1 plus E2 is a maximum bending moment. Okay, so PE1 plus E2 will be 25 into 10 power 6 Newton mm. These two values are important. We will use this in a next upcoming formula. Here you can see the standard formula for deflection due to pre-stress is area into centroidal distance by EI, where I have written two formulas here, that is PE L square by 8 EI minus 5 PE L square by 48 EI. What is these two formulas is, this is a general formula for a cable or this rectangular section. Okay, as we have got positive sign here also, it is a positive, so plus of this value. For next one, that is for a parabolic, it is negative bending moment, and the formula is this one, that is 5 PE L square by 48 EI is a formula for a parabolic variation. This signs will keep on changing, or it depends on the bending moment diagrams. So be careful while substituting. First one is for rectangle, second one is for parabolic, and I have written E and I has a common, taken common outside, so I can write like this. This is a final equation. You can write like this, or else you can expand these formula and you can write like this also. Nothing wrong in that, but whichever you feel comfortable, take that format and you just substitute the value. Next one, I will explain how I have written. Generally, the deflection formula is area into centroidal distance by EI, where EI is common. I have written 1 by EI outside, into area is the area of rectangle. Here, go back to the diagram and check what is the area of the rectangle, that is length into breadth. Here, length is L by 2, yes, B into D, it is B is L by 2, D is P into E1. So this is area. Into centroidal distance is 1 by 4. How did I get this 1 by 4? Or keep one thing in mind, always centroidal distance should be measured from the support to the center. If we measure from the support to the center, already the length of this hatched portion is L by 2. Half of that will be L by 4. So area into L by 4 minus area of the parabola. Okay, area of the parabola is, we know that it is 2 by 3 into length into height. Here 2 by 3 into length is L by 2, height is P E1 plus E2. This is the area. Into centroidal distance of the parabola is 5 by 8 into length. Here length is L by 2, so 5 by 8 into L by 2 is a formula. Now substitute all the values. Here be careful, again and again don't substitute L is 12,000 by 2 and all, you just don't do it. Already we have written L by 2 is nothing but 6,000, and PE1 is also calculated, this term is also calculated. Just substitute the values directly here. So you will get deflection has minus 4.68 mm and it is acting upwards. Acting upwards means, in the sense, deflection is upwards. This is for a first cable, deflection is this much. Now let's see for a second cable. Here in second cable you can observe at the support eccentricity is 0, at the center it is 50 mm. So this formula will be, here in the previous slide we had two eccentricities, so one half of the portion of the cable was above the neutral axis and remaining was below the neutral axis. So we had two eccentricity, P into E1 plus E2 was there, but here only at the center we have eccentricity, so it is P into E. Okay, like that what we can do, PE equal to, that is we will get 12.5 into 10 power 6 Newton mm. Here, as this is a parabolic variation, we got a parabolic bending moment variation. As the cable is below the neutral axis, it is a negative bending moment. Let's check this deflection. Deflection due to pre-stress for a second cable is, we should consider only a area into centroidal distance of parabola. So minus, why I have written minus here, you should not forget it is a negative bending moment. So I have written minus 1 by EC into IX into area is 2 by 3 into length into height into centroidal distance is 5 by 8 into L by 2. Now substitute all the values along with the sign, will get delta as minus 5.56 mm and it is acting upwards, or it is a upward deflection. Now it is the last two cables, that is cable 3 and cable 4. Here I have considered both the cable. Why? Because eccentricity is same for both the cables, that is 50 mm. So I can take both the cables together for the calculation. Area is rectangle. For a straight cable, bending moment is rectangle. So I have considered rectangle, and it is a negative bending moment. Why it is negative bending moment? As the cables are present below the neutral axis, it will be negative bending moment. P equal to 12.5 into 10 power 6 Newton mm. For this, how much is a deflection due to pre-stress? It is minus 1 by EC into IX into area of the rectangle into centroidal distance of it into 2. This 2 plays an important role, and I have written also multiply by 2 because 2 cables are there. Here the third and fourth cable are in same position. So while calculating the deflection, don't forget this 2. Okay. So multiply the formula into 2, we will get, and substitute all the values, we will get delta equal to minus 14.06 mm and the deflection is upwards. Now everything is ready. Deflection due to dead load, deflection due to live load, deflection due to pre-stress for different cables, it is ready. Now let's calculate short-term deflection. So I have said the short-term deflection occurs due to deflection due to dead load, deflection due to live load, and deflection due to pre-stress. The values are 12.65 plus 84.37, and for all the 3 cables or 4 cables, the sign is negative. Deflection due to pre-stress, we got everything in terms of negative. So if you substitute in terms of negative, you will get delta as 72.42 mm. Next is a long-term deflection. It occurs due to dead load, live load, pre-stress and creep. For that, for a long-term deflection, I have written a formula. So delta equal to delta IL plus delta IP into PF by PI into 1 plus 5. This equation is available in the code book. Don't forget to check. So after that, one more important point is delta IL stands for deflection due to live load, deflection due to dead load as well. Okay. So you should take both deflection due to live load, deflection due to dead load values. You should add it, and those two values will be equal to this single term. Don't forget that, and don't do any mistake in this point. Next is delta IP, that is deflection due to pre-stress. As we have got negative sign for all the 3 values, I have just taken minus as a common. So it is minus of 4.58 plus 5.64 plus 14.06 has a deflection due to pre-stress into PF by PI is nothing but loss ratio. Loss ratio, it is directly given it as 0.5 into 1 plus 1.6 has a creep coefficient. And don't forget one thing, if the creep coefficient is not given in the question, you can directly assume it as 1.6. So because of long term deflection, we got delta as 201.08 mm. This is the value for long term deflection. Now, how to take this permissible formula? If here you can observe it is a positive deflection, okay, as it is a positive deflection, obviously deflection will be downwards. So the standard formula for downward deflection is span by 250. If it was or deflection was minus 201.08 mm, because of the sign we would have considered a upward deflection formula. Now it is a positive sign, we should consider downward deflection equal to span by 250, that is complete length of the span is 12,000 by 250, we will get 48 mm. You just observe these deflection value and these permissible deflection value. Here permissible itself was up to 48 mm, but how much we have got? We have got around 201, 72.42 mm and all. So it is not at all a safe structure. So you can write a statement that hence it is not safe. Always it is important to check for a permissible deflection, so that we will come to know how much is a permissible deflection we can allow. Okay, hence we can write it as it's not safe or structure is not safe. Hope you have understood this problem. Okay, thank you.